Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the last 2 weeks of my postpartum experience, I guess. So to start out, I had my son on August 10th and it is now August 24th, I believe. So it's exactly 2 weeks postpartum, or I am exactly 2 weeks postpartum. And I was just going to talk about a few things that I've experienced in the last couple weeks. So first thing is my postpartum recovery from labor and delivery. And honestly, you'll see in the labor and delivery vlog that will be coming out hopefully this weekend, you'll see that things went pretty well. And so my postpartum care, I guess, was a lot different than in my first pregnancy. My first pregnancy, the process of labor and delivery was very long, and things turned out to be a lot different this time around. And it was actually a pretty nice postpartum experience when it comes to pain and healing and things like that. Of course, you get the big hospital size pads and the mesh underwear and the peri bottle and the Tux pads, and I used all of those, but not as long as I had to with my first, after my first labor and delivery. All of that was used probably for the first week. I did use the Depends a couple times at the hospital just because it was nice to just be able to put something on without having to like undo the pad and put it on the mesh underwear. And that process is just annoying, but necessary sometimes. But the Depends were nice. And then I used them a couple times at home. But other than that, things have kind of slowed down, if you know what I mean. And so that hasn't really been something I've been using lately. Some other things, postpartum for the first couple days, it was kind of hard to stand up straight. Now, I don't know, this was the same with my first pregnancy after I had Mara. Standing up straight with like my hips underneath me and I guess standing like I felt like I should be standing was very uncomfortable. And I don't know if it was because I had this huge belly and I might have been like walking differently, and now all of a sudden I didn't have a huge belly and my balance was just off. It was super weird. And so I'd have to like stand up and like tell myself to tuck my hips underneath my body instead of, I was just like walking kind of funny. So I'd have to think about putting my hips under my body and walking that way. I know it sounds super weird, but some of you who have gone through birthing a child might understand or might have had the same type of thing. I don't know. But so that was just for probably the first couple days. And then the pains after giving birth that you have in your uterus, because your uterus, obviously it's like huge and then it has to go back down to being a little tiny. I had a lot of pain afterward, and it wasn't with Mara. It was usually always when I was feeding her that I would get those contractions, and they were super painful. But this time, I would get them random. I wouldn't be feeding her anything, and I would just get them, and they would last a really long time. So I did experience it with Mara, but it wasn't as intense this time. I feel like they were a lot more random and they lasted a lot longer. They did give me some medicine to help with that. So if that's something that you experience after giving birth, just make sure that you ask, while you're still at the hospital, ask them to write you prescriptions so you can go home and get pain medicine at home, because it does help a little bit, even if you just get some. I don't really like taking pain medicine, and I only take it when I feel like I really need to. And so that was just nice to have if I felt like I needed it. So usually I would take it at least at nighttime to make sure that I'd be able to go to sleep without waking up in some sort of pain. I was not super swollen. With Mara, I was very swollen after I had her, but I was on fluids like crazy. After having Jay, I was a little bit swollen in the couple days after that, but I've got, if you can't, I've got lemons galore. I drink lemon water like crazy, and it helped. I think if you're ever swollen, drink lemon water, just lemon and water. Don't put anything else in it. And it is so good for swelling. I swear by it. So that's what I've been doing for swelling. Usually I have lemon water anyway. Sometimes I can't stand it. I don't know. Sometimes I think I just get a bad batch of lemons, but that's besides the point. I have been having a weird appetite. So I am breastfeeding, and that is going just fine. Jay has done really well with latching and everything like that. I've pumped a few times when I felt engorged, but I don't pump to the point where I feel like my breasts are empty. I just pump enough to get a little bit, and no more than once a day. Sometimes I don't pump, and then sometimes I pump in the morning because that's when usually you get the most in after being asleep all night and all that. So one thing I've noticed lately after this couple weeks is that I'm very hungry at nighttime, and during the day I just have to like kind of tell myself to eat. So I don't eat too much during the daytime, and then dinner comes around and I'm so hungry, so I'm just like grabbing everything to eat. And then almost every time I wake up with Jay in the night, I have to grab a snack, or I'll just have a snack next to me, and water, of course. I've always been a water drinker, so I am thirsty all the time. I don't think that's a postpartum thing. I think it's just me. But so that is one thing. I think it's because he feeds a lot at night. So during the day, he feeds quite often, every 2 to 3 hours. And then at night, from probably 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock, he feeds like every hour. And I think he's just preparing himself to go to sleep. And so I think that's probably why I'm more hungry at night, is because he's feeding so often. So that's just kind of where I'm at with eating. The first week after having him, we pretty much ate like crap. And I knew going into it that I was probably just going to just eat what I wanted for at least a week or so. And now the second week I've been eating better, but not amazing. Like last night we had some stuff we went to do that we weren't home to make dinner, so we had Chick-fil-A. And so it's like we've mostly been eating well, but still not like great. I'm still snacking a lot, especially at night. With breastfeeding, I have to use, I guess, breast pads. I don't know if that's the right, nursing pads. I don't know what you call them, but I've been using the Parent Choice from Walmart. I think they work just fine. And if you want to get the breast pads, there's no reason to spend like double the money for them. Just go to Walmart or to Dillon's or wherever and get the cheaper ones. I really think that they do the same kind of job. So, but that's definitely a necessity that I've needed to have. When it comes to weight loss, I have lost, hold on a second. Okay, I did the math because I felt like I was on the spot and I couldn't do it. So I have lost 18 pounds. I gained 33 pounds this pregnancy. And so, do the math, I have, oh my gosh, 13, 14, 15, 15 more pounds to go. I cannot do math. It's terrible. If that's wrong, hold on. Okay. Yeah, I just had to double check my math. I feel like I'm on the spot, even though there's nobody watching me right now as I'm recording. I feel like I'm on the spot, and so I can't like do it in my brain. Anyway, so I feel pretty good about that because losing 18 pounds and the whole week after I had him, I was eating like crap and having ice cream like every single night. I think that's pretty good. Obviously, I'm not supposed to work out yet or anything, so I haven't been. I've been up and around, you know, I haven't been just laying on the couch this whole time. I've been doing things, and I am so ready to get out of the house. It's unbelievable. But, so, I mean, I've been up doing things. So I'm happy with that. 15 pounds left to go. I think I'll probably lose in the next 4 weeks before I go back for my my appointment to get released, hopefully. I don't know why I wouldn't, but who knows. Once I get released, I'm hoping to be 10 pounds down from where I am now, and then I'll have 5 more pounds until my pre-pregnancy weight. So hopefully just with eating and maybe like going on some walks and maybe some yoga or something, I can lose 10 more pounds. But I'm not super worried about it. It feels really good to not be huge pregnant anymore. And so like being what I am right now, I'm actually really happy. When it comes to postpartum, like baby blues and anxiety, I obviously have had some emotions and things, just hormones and stuff. You kind of go on a roller coaster every once in a while. Haven't had anything too terrible, but I do have some anxieties, like thinking about the baby and what he's doing, and then his sister, and just making sure like he feels cared about and she feels cared about, and it gives me some anxiety. Nothing too terrible, but you know, that's the truth. I do feel that sometimes, and I sometimes get a little bit overwhelmed with Mara when she's upset about things, and I have to do things with the baby, and she, you know, isn't satisfied with her dad at the time because she wants her mom, and you know, I feel sad for him sometimes because there are times where she cries for me and he tries to help her and she's not satisfied with that, and it's upsetting because I want her to just understand that it's all okay, and he, you know, mommy and daddy can both help her with everything. And anyway, that's probably been the biggest struggle, is just like trying to balance that, and it just makes me kind of sad. But other than that, I don't think there's anything else necessarily to talk about right now about postpartum. So the last thing I'm going to do is just kind of show you where I'm at when it comes to my body. I'm not going to show my whole body, obviously, but just kind of in my belly region, kind of where I'm at. So I have my sweatpants on because I'm comfy at home. This is kind of where I am. You know, I'm still holding a lot here in my midsection. It's more just like, it feels like loose skin kind of, and it's very like jello-y, or I don't know how to explain it. It's very jiggly feeling and not firm, which isn't the greatest feeling, but I think when coming from having a huge belly, I feel pretty good with where I'm at the moment. So that is my postpartum update, my 2-week postpartum update. As of right now, I think that the plan is I'll update with the baby. I'll give you a 1-month update of how the baby's doing and anything new with him. And I'll include a little bit of postpartum things in that video. If not, comment down below if you want to see 2 separate videos. That would be helpful, just because I don't know what exactly you guys want to see. So let me know. But as always, please be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.